Have you ever wondered how some people in business get so much done in one day? They seem to have it all together, and it seems like they're not even in the office at all working all the time. I'm about to show you how I learned some of these principles. Stay until the end, and I will show you what I've learned, and you can learn these also and implement them in your business and take your business from wherever it is to the next level. All right, welcome today. My name is Henry, Coach Henry, and I have been in the roofing industry for more than 20 years. I remember one evening, and this is for you contractors. If you're a contractor, this is for you. If you're not a contractor, this could be for you. So we'll see if this works. One evening, about 20 years ago, it wasn't even that long. I was at least 5-6 years in business. I was out late one night, and I was about 10 o'clock or so. I was unloading materials from one trailer, that we take along to the job site, taking some of those tools out, putting it to the next trailer. So when the crew gets here in the morning, we have everything ready to go. I did not want to just wait around and pass the time. I wasn't that way when I was young. I know some people have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning. For me, I was driven. I did not want to be like my dad, always saying, I can't afford it. I don't have enough of money. We can't afford this. We just can't. And I was tired of that. So I was a driven individual at a very young age. And what I learned is, in order to be successful in business, you need to learn from some of the people that have gone ahead of you. Otherwise, it's going to take you 20 years to learn some of this stuff. And I'll get to that in just a moment. I'm getting so excited. I'm getting way out of what I was going to say. One evening as I was loading these trailers, and I thought of the dinner I had missed again tonight. The ball game, my boys' ball game. I don't go to school and visit the school. I don't have that time. The zoo, they went to the zoo. My wife and the children went to the zoo. I said, no, I don't have time. I have to work. See, I didn't know what I didn't know. I was just stuck as a Charlie in a pickup truck. I couldn't get away from my company, couldn't get away from my business. If I quit, everything quit. So I had to be working, right? And I remember how it is, and you know how it is in the industry, in a seasonal industry like we are, as a contractor. It doesn't matter if you're doing roofing, siding, windows, landscape. It could be plumbing, it could be heating and air conditioning. We all have these seasons. And you know how it is. When we are busy, we really work and we put in these hours, and then we work really hard and we work overtime because we want to make sure that we have money. So when winter comes, whatever the winter season is for you, we have some money so we can, keep going until spring. All right. And that's the place where I was. And as I was thinking about this, I felt frustrated. I felt sick to the stomach. I says, this is enough. Something has to change. I hated my life like this. I didn't want to live like this. And I was in business for about 6 years, and I sold my first company. I said, that's it. I sold it for peanuts, literally. And I went back to farming where my roots were. I started reading. I started learning after that. I started going to seminars. I went back in business. And what I'm about to teach you is what I've learned. I've gone from being a farmer to a businessman. And my dad was not a businessman. He was a farmer, so he could not teach me those principles. And when I was young, I had I probably can figure it out attitude more than humility and asking questions to older people. Today, everything has changed, right? So I believe. Yeah, 1 second here. I made some notes here. If you don't mind, I'm going to read off some of my notes. And I know this is a story that I'm going to tell you, but I made some notes here so I don't forget. So I believe one of the biggest reasons people fail in business is because they don't have a system in place. They don't have a system. Nobody taught them a system. And they are just flying by the seat of their pants. And so many of us are good at the one thing. The one thing we went in business to do brings along 10 other things that we had no idea we had to do. Oh my goodness. Talk about payroll, talk about hiring, talk about finding help. How about all these taxes? How about just keeping a system? How about what is a system? And what does it mean? When I say system, I'm sure you have something that comes into your mind that you're like, oh, no, I don't want another system. I can't afford a system, or who's going to run that system? No. Just hold off on that one. Let me show you what I mean by a system. First off, leads. How do you get your leads? How do you get your opportunities in? Like, you got to have a system. And if you have a phone, that is a system. People call your phone, you answer it, you write it down. That is a system. And if you like that system, wow. Now, if you're going to scale though, and you have someone else take those phone calls, you got to have a new phone. Now, how are you going to train that person to take your phone call? Are you going to record the line? Are you going to sit there and teach them? Are you going to hire a person that already knows how to do those things? And you're going to put them in the seat and say, okay, you know how to take phone calls. I'm a busy man. Set me appointments. And then everything comes out as an explosion. The thing doesn't work. Because you don't have the right system. And so with that, when you have opportunities, you have phone calls, that's called opportunities. You convert them to leads. So the more you get them converted to leads, now you might think, Henry, now wait a minute. Isn't every phone call a lead? My phone calls, only people call me that want an estimate. I don't have phone calls that don't want an estimate. What do you mean? Well, when you get to a higher level in business, you might be advertising on Facebook, you might be advertising on Google, you might be putting out signs out along the road, and people, they see you all over, and they start calling, or they just click on an ad. They didn't mean to, so that's what I mean for opportunities. All right, and then we go to conversion to leads, and then we also go, we have to follow a system. So when they are leads, the next thing is you got to sell the lead. So are you going to sell these yourself? Are you going to have a salesperson go out and sell them for you? There's so many things that we have to put in place. Once you start going from crew to office, there's so many things that has to be put in place. And when you're in the office and you want to go as CEO, or from a CEO to an owner, all of these steps must be implemented that I'm about to talk about. Sales team is on train. Next, you want to hire somebody to sell for you, but they are on train. See, if you don't know how to sell, or if you don't have a system set up for yourself, how can you teach a system to your salesperson? No, it's not just go out and sell. You have some things you say about your company, and you have some things that you do not say about your company, right? All right, next one is better offers. What offers do you have for your clients? Like, it's not just one offer. You got to have 2, 3, 4 different offers, or 5. For myself, we have at least 20 different products, 20 different offers in roofing. Can you believe that? I guess we also have, we also do some siding, we do some gutters, but within this business model, we have like 20 different offers, all set and ready to present to the homeowner at a moment's notice. This is the good, this is the better, this is the best. This is for shingle, this is for metal. Get it? Follow me? You got a flat roof system, you got a commercial roof system, you have coating system, you have on and on, siding system, A, B, C, D. And so where a lot of contractors get stuck, it doesn't matter if you're air conditioning or if you think you just only do windows, washing or whatever, you can offer more solutions, more options in the niche you are in. So you always need to have more than one system, and we'll talk more about that later. Continuity offers, this is an offer that's like a membership. So many of the roofers don't have a membership. Why? Because roofers don't have memberships. Well, how come air conditioners, the HVAC people do? Well, they have. Electricians, they can. I keep talking real fast because I'm so excited. All right, gonna slow down. So you could have like an overhead care club membership for roofing. So once a year you go out to inspect the roof. And for heating and air conditioning, you could have a free tune-up, maybe $70 a year, whatever. You come back out for a free tune-up and you find more issues with the system, or you just give it a good combing over. It gives peace of mind to the homeowner. That's what I'm talking about for continuity offers. All right, following a script on the sale or for the sale. So for us, we have what's called an inline sales system. We have from the beginning to the end, scripted out in blocks. The guys know where they are when they are selling. You're either in the conversation with the homeowner, you're either in a fact finding, either in a demonstration or in a closing. There is no guess, and you don't move back and forth. And if you don't teach that to your people, they will go from closing to, their conversation back and forth. They want to leave as a friend. Look, you can't leave as a friend if you don't help somebody get what they want in life. People, if they need a roof and you don't help them get their roof, they will be frustrated. They are frustrated already that they have to get a roof. They will be frustrated even more if they can't get a roof. They need to be told how they can afford a roof. Do you guys offer payments? I mean, how many options do we have? I mean, I had other bids. Now I'm confused. Exactly right. Because they don't follow a script. They don't educate the homeowner. The homeowner is just confused more and more. So that's another big, huge thing that you need for your company to go from where you are. You need to grow into this new system called inline sales system. You need to get that in ASAP. Delivery of the goods is the next one. So if you can't deliver the goods, you can talk a good storm, but you can't deliver the goods. It only goes so long and you're going to be stuck again because people will talk about you and you're going to have more warranty problems. You're going to have more customer service issues, legal issues. The crew goes back out, for instance, to fix something. How often do you have to go back out to fix something after the job is done? And how reachable are you? What for hassles do you give your customers when they call in and they have a problem? Do you start playing the blame game? Do you say, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, we will be right out, we'll take care of it, we'll be there in a week, a month, next year? Like, what is your plan for warranty? It all plays a difference. And if you can't deliver the goods, like, if you gotta set the bar high, then you gotta set the expectation high, then you gotta deliver higher than your expectation. It's just how it is. And customer service, where is that in your company? Oh, customer service. Communication. What does your communication look like between the team and the office? How about you as a business owner to your team? How about the managers to the team? How about customer service overall? Like, what does the follow-up system look like for customer service? Like, after the job is completed, who calls out and asks and does a survey and asks how well did we do the job? How about when the sales guys go out to sell a job and they don't sell anything? Who does a follow-up? Do you have a follow-up system in plan to see, hey, did they ask these questions? Did they deliver to you? Did they do all of this, right? So if you don't have great customer service, the business ain't gonna go up too fast, right? And you gotta be clear and concise on your contracts, on the paperwork, on the agreements, the paperwork that you take out to the homeowner to sign. If it's not legal, too many of the contractors today, they start in business and then they just start in with something from Staples or what's that, Max store, Office Max. They just find something online or LegalZoom.com and they just put it on the back of their contracts and they just go to some Vista print and Vista, there comes 102 contracts ready to go and I'm in business. Got my colorful folders, I got my briefcase, and that works when you're starting out, but it does not work when you're a growing company. It does not work. So you got to make sure that the attorney sees and reads your contract and it's approved, right? Financials. A lot of business owners can't even read their financials correctly. My goodness, if you can't read the financials, you can't predict the cash flow. If you can't predict the cash flow, you're going to have a credit crunch. There's going to be seasons where you're going to have a huge influx of down payments and you think you have a lot of money. Then when the time comes to pay all of those bills within 60 days, the lines of credit are full, your credit cards are full, and you're like, dude, what's going on? I thought we were making all this money. Where are we losing money? One of the things is you might not be priced right. Or you could be spending too much time on the job, so their labor might be too high. Do you know your percentages on labor per sale? Labor should be at a specific number. Do you know what your number is per employee, per income? It's called your income ratio, employee to income ratio. Okay, if you are at 200,000 per employee, and I'm talking about all of the employees, I'm talking about your installers, salespeople, doesn't matter, everybody in the office. If you're the owner, it includes you. Take your total dollar of sales per year, let's say 1 million or 2 million or 5 or 10, wherever you are, and divide it by your employees and see where you are. If you're between 200 and 250, you're not priced right, or you have too many people. If you're between 250 and 300, you're kind of right in there. I mean, you need to get better. There's some things that needs to be done. If you're 300 and over, you're probably in the top 10%, especially when you're a contractor. going out to the homeowner and doing service for homeowners. This is what I'm talking about. There are some industries for computers that they're up as high as 500 per employee. And see, when do you hire? You wonder, well, when do I hire? Because if my per employee number is 350, that's what you want to shoot for. When you hire a new employee, you might go down to 295. And you're like, how do I do this? Well, if your number is 350, you need to grow your company up to 375 or 380. And then when you hire someone, it doesn't come down below 300. All right, so there's all of those numbers that you need to know. You need to have all of those steps memorized. You need to know how that is done. I know I had a hard time, and this is what I said in the beginning. I was so frustrated, and now I can go to the zoo anytime I want. I can go out to my son's ball game. I have more freedom. I have more time. I have more, I should say it this way, I have a whole lot more flexibility than I used to. And when I learned this system, it made it so much easier. Yeah, is it all flowers and sunshine? Not every day, it ain't. No way. I'm still learning and I'm still growing. But what I have learned, you can learn also. And I don't care where you are in your sales, in your business, you can grow and scale 10 times from what you are right now. And it's going to be a lot harder than you think, but not as hard as some might say. All right. So the other thing is that you gotta have lines of credit, you gotta have predictable cash flow. And one of the things, and one of the reasons some of the companies are failing, did you hear me? Failing. Some of the companies are failing in cash flow is because they're stealing from their own company. So a company, you can refer to a company as the goose with the golden eggs. Steve Covey said it well. He said, our business is like the goose with the golden eggs. You got to take care of the goose so she continues making those golden eggs. We can't be greedy and start going after the goose to lay more eggs. And if you don't feed the goose so you have more profits, so you have less expenses and more profits, you still want the egg, but you don't want to feed the goose, then you're going to starve the goose and pretty soon the goose is going to die. The goose is your business. You got to take care of your people. Your people are your company. You got to have great people in your company. You got to have high achievers in your company. All right. You got to have people that achieve great success. People that are self-motivated. People that, they just show up every day and they want to get it done for not just for you, but for themselves because they're high achievers. So you got to have that. And you can't be stealing from the company, meaning taking out so much money, more money than a company is earning. So sometimes that's hard. We all have our bills, right? But that's not going to work. All right, in closing, you've got to have a team to help you. This is one of the things I said in the beginning. I will tell you towards the end. It seems like some people have it all together. In business especially, it seems like they can go out golfing whenever they want. It seems like they have money, they have nice vehicles, and the company goes on without them. That is because they have a system in place and they have high achievers. They have SOPs, they have standard operating procedures put in place so the people know what needs to be done. They have goals setting for the team. Everybody has a goal. They all know what they're supposed to do. They have automations. Here's the key. Automations in your system, in your software. There's this 3 steps. Now you might write this down. I didn't even put this down. I just thought of it now. There's 3 things I look at. There's 3 things that high achievers, millionaires, billionaires look at when they hire people. Probably not billionaires. Sure they do. Okay, step 1 is you automate. Or step 1 would be delegate, automate, and then hire. Delegate, automate, hire. So delegate everything you can, or that doesn't pertain to your strength. You delegate to someone else. And there's some things like, for instance, like for us, when we go out on a job for an appointment, we have automations that go out and they say, hey, expect, our technician to arrive in 24 hours. We have follow-ups like referrals and just automations. It's automation. It saves so much time. And people, you can't depend on always on everybody to get their job done right. Well, here's the other side of it. If you have a manager that manages your people, if your company is big enough, yes, give everybody a checklist, report to that manager every day, you can get things done. But automations make it so much easier. Anyway, so people, automations, systems, you gotta have systems in place, you gotta delegate, you gotta automate, then you gotta hire. That's how you grow and scale your company. If you like this video, hit subscribe. Join my challenge. By the way, I am doing a challenge time and again about once a month. I'm gonna drop the link in here below. So join my next 5-day challenge. I will teach you how to grow and scale your company into a sellable company, into a sellable asset. See, you're probably not growing, you're probably not scaling. And if you wanted to sell, who want to buy it? It's all a mess. Your financials are in ruins and you don't have good help. You are the person that's running the company, and that's all okay. If that's how you like to run a company, this is not for you. If you're the person that needs more freedom, that wants more time off, wants more flexibility, wants to have a company that can grow and scale, maybe even buy another area, maybe just get systems in place, this is for you. Hit the link below. I'm going to teach you in 5 days in more depth of what I went over today. We're going to talk about leads. We talk about lead conversions. We're going to talk about scripts. Did we talk about scripts today? I think I forgot. I think we said the scripts. You got to have a script. A script is a predetermined message. When spoken, it produces a thought and manufactures an emotion in the person who hears it. In other words, everybody has a way of saying no. Shouldn't you then have a way of helping them saying yes? See, all of the movie stars, they have scripts. They don't run or fly by the seat of their pants. Everything is scripted, but then it's internalized. Some of the words I'm saying to you are memorized. You have no idea because they're so internalized. They're like part of my wording, part of my being. But this is what I'm teaching you. Okay, it's time to shut this thing down. Hit the link below, and I'm gonna see you at the 5-day challenge. If this is not for you, well, guess what? I have a free community where you can join the community, watch some more free videos. You can see I have, just hit the link. There's a free course there on how to sell using the learning how to sell using the DISC formula, or knowing the DISC formula, which is knowing people's personality, and it's free. Just hit the link. It should be in the link below, but it'll be on my website. You'll find it if you follow me. All right, cheers.